Howdy folks, in today's video we'll go ahead and do a review of the Engwe P26 e-bike. It is my first and only e-bike purchase that I've done. I've been researching e-bikes for quite a while now and then finally decided to pull the trigger when I saw the Engwe one was on sale. On the box, obviously it got roughed up throughout the shipping, but overall not too bad. On the back, it did made a hole. Looks like the front wheel is the one that protruded through the box, and then it looks like there was a protective cover. But other than that, it survived. Out of the box, everything was packaged relatively well. You can see that they protected a lot of the critical components with foam and then also with zip ties. And again, the front wheel here did end up protruding through the box and even through that plastic protective cover as well. But everything else seems to be okay. Let's go ahead and do the assembly of it. With the box, we also have the pedals. Front, left and right pedals. We have information regarding, looks like the battery. We have some tools. We have the power bank, the charger for the battery, and also we have the power cord for the charger here. Big size charger. It's a good size one, but of course it has to charge a big battery, so I'm sure we need it for cooling. And then we also have the manual in the box. Removing the zip ties. Looks like we have a couple of scratches on the battery here, but no dents, which is excellent. If it had a dent, I'd be a little bit worried because of the criticality of lithium-ion batteries, but it looks like it survived. There are two keys that are zip tied to the handlebars in order to remove the battery. On the battery removal, looks like we're just going to turn the key and then the battery releases, and then we can go ahead and take it out. It is a good heavy battery. It does have a good amount of weight. In reality, you're buying a battery and then just the bike comes with it. Most of the cost, or largest portion of the cost, is the battery. I would like to go ahead and get the battery started to charge so that while I assemble the bike, it can get a bit of a charge here. So from the charging perspective, looks like it's not full, but it has a partial charge. I'm sure for shipping there are regulations for it. From the tools that are coming with this bike, we have 3 wrenches, but each one of them on the ends is a different size, so covers 6 different configurations. We have some Allen keys, the manual, and then also a reversible screwdriver for flat Phillips inserts. Here's the manual. This is of course the US version, so we'll be following the US version specification. The biggest difference between the US and the European version is that European version has a 250 watt motor versus 500 watt in the US, and then the battery is a 48 volt battery for the US versus 36 volts in the EU. In the EU, you have the fenders and the cargo rack included by default in the design, but I like the 500 watt motor and the 48 volt battery instead, so I'm okay with that trade. Most of the directions were relatively well, with the exception of the stem part. I had to loosen the hex bolt in order to rotate the stem. According to the manual, they just have a picture for rotating the whole thing, which rotates the entire fork, and that didn't make sense. But once I got that figured out, the rest of it was kind of self-explanatory. And then I put up the handlebar. This bracket controls or holds the handlebar in place, and there are 4 hex bolts that need to be tightened, and I was kind of doing it in a crisscross pattern to make sure they're all completely and fully tightened and there is nothing loose. The right pedal is installed by turning it clockwise, and then when it's all the way in, then we'll just tighten it with the provided wrench. And the left one is left threaded, so it is going to be screwed in counterclockwise. Again, just secure it with a wrench. Here it is, the bike, fully complete, assembled, ready to go, battery charged. Looks fantastic, pretty. I love this color. I like this design. Different kind of e-bikes have different battery placements. There are pros and cons to each one. But with this one, I do like it because it is removable. It was one of the criterias that, even though I have a garage, but we have very harsh winters, I don't want the battery to be stuck in the bike, and I'm not bringing the bike indoors. So in the summer, sometimes the garage gets very hot, so I do like the removable battery. With everything assembled here, battery charged, we can see that everything is looking good, and we're ready to go and enjoy the bike ride. Few scuff marks on the bike and the battery, but overall everything is looking good. I like the welding. Looks like that was done very neatly. It is a 7-speed bike, so it is going to be a little bit different than my regular mountain bike. But for an e-bike, I'm okay with the 7-speed that it comes with. There are 5 assist levels, so we can control that with plus or minuses on that control on the left. And then we can also press and hold to turn that computer on or off. We also have an LED headlight in the front that is turned on through that control as well. Seat comfort is obviously going to be subjective for each person, but there is a fair amount of cushioning here. Not the greatest seat, probably. No one chooses their best seat by default, but it's okay. I'm personally used to hard seats, so I think this one will work fine. For me, quick release on the bike adjustment, which is nice. No quick release on the front wheel. Something that I am not seeing is screw mounts for like a bottle holder. Most bikes always come with some assembled, or at least the holes or the screws for bottle holders, but this one doesn't have any. I know probably space is limited because here we have the battery. At the top it doesn't have too many options, but at least somewhere on the bike would have been nice to have screw-mounted bottle holders. I know you can probably get some Velcro ones, which I'll probably end up doing, but they may not always stay in place, so it would have been nice to have that as well. All right, so let's take it for a ride. And I know this video is probably not going to show it well, so there is a bit of an upslope to this trail. This trail leads up to the top of the hill here that shows, or that has the radio tower for this location. So again, it's not a super steep hill, but it does require a good amount of effort. But with using the speed assist mode, in here I'm just on setting 3. Even though you can select assist between 1 and 5, here I was going between 2 and 3. So right now I'm at about 3 or so, and it just makes going up this almost effortless. Very nice, very easy, very enjoyable. I love it. And when the motor is working, you can clearly hear it, but it's not overly loud or interfering in any way. All right, so we finished the first ride. This is fantastic. I love it. I just got it to the point where I finally used up this one remaining bar on the battery, and my total odometer reading is 51 miles, so I'm fairly happy with this. I think 53 is the technically rated aspect with pedal assist, but for this ride I was using pedal assist a bit more than I probably should have. I kind of did it to about 1 battery level remaining, and then I did another 6.9 miles just to get this to the complete usage, so I have a good fair estimate. Very happy with this. I like the fact that I can go a good distance on this battery, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I got this bike. Part of the right handle twists on the right side, so you can use it as a throttle to get going, which is pretty cool, especially in places if you want to go through an intersection that is kind of busy, you don't want to start slowly pedaling. However, what I also learned, and something that is new to me, is when I was expecting is, hey, if I use the throttle, it will use the maximum power to get going up to the ratio that you use the throttle. It's not working like that, however, at least on this bike. So the pedal assist, you have to be in a pedal assist mode 1 through 5. If you're in pedal assist mode 0, throttle has no power or use whatsoever. And then if you do want to use the throttle, you need to be in the pedal assist mode, and then the power corresponds to those pedal assist mode. So if you do want to go much faster with more power, you do need to be in one of the higher pedal assist mode settings in order to use that throttle at a higher speed. If you want to just start barely going, you can be in pedal assist mode 2 or something like that. And then it will work according to that mode. For me, this is new. I don't know if all bikes are like this or just this one, but my initial expectation was, hey, I'll pull the throttle whenever I need to. Doesn't work exactly that. That's fine, just works a little bit differently. Once I learn how it works, I'm good with that. I'm sure there are some regulations that may be affecting the way this throttle works and why it works the way it does. The bike has done well on gravel, hard gravel trail surfaces, etc. Had no issues there. Loose sand, however, obviously is going to be an issue, so it's not a fat tire bike, so don't be expecting it to go in kind of loose sand. But any kind of hard surface trails, gravel type of trails, had good results, good traction there. When I was going kind of closer to the beach where there was more loose sand on top of the gravel, then I did have a little bit of traction issues in those cases. But again, this is not a fat tire bike, so no expectations of loose sand traction on this bike. But trail-wise, no issues. The front fork compression works relatively well. It can be locked out as well if you don't want it, and then once it's locked out, it's completely locked out. There's no movement whatsoever, which was nice. But going off trail, obviously I don't want that lockout. I do want it to dampen as much as possible, and still there is still a lot of movement nonetheless, right? It's not going to get rid of everything. The light on the bike is nice and bright, however it is only a constant light, there is no blinking mode. For some of you, you may not care about it, however if you are riding your bike along with the street, with cars, with traffic, possibly you may want to have a blinking light, at least I do. So in my case I do have this blaze light, which is basically two AA batteries light, and it has a low, high, and then also a blinking mode. So I use the blinking mode mostly during the day, again just to get traffic visibility that I'm sharing, a lane with other cars. It definitely helps for me. Okay, so this one is no light at all. This is the first setting on the blaze, second setting on the blaze, and this is the blink mode. This is the bike light. So the bike light does more upfront light, and it's plenty, but the blaze, if I'll turn it on, you can see can go a little further out. So combination of both I think seems to be good. Whoa, and look at that! Alright, so last update, I did some customizations to the bike, just got a few more things added to it, bike rack, fenders, bag, etc. So I can actually use it for cargo and stuff like that. But last update here, I want to show you guys, I did my last trip, was 54 miles complete. So I got that, even though it says I'm down to 2 bars on the battery, it's more like 1 bar. So the battery rested a bit by the time I got the camera out and everything. So pretty good, still happy with the distance and the battery charge and distance that I'm getting with pedal assist. Again, I'm not abusing pedal assist in this last mode, so that's how I got to 54. I was just doing much more pedaling, but still very good results. And here's the throttle on the right that I mentioned earlier, so you can use that without pedaling. However, you have to be in a pedal assist mode for it to work. If your pedal assist mode is at 0, the throttle is essentially disabled. It will not work unless you increase the pedal assist mode and go from there. Alright, so this is my latest setup of the bike. I did add fenders front and back. They're small, lightweight, minimalistic, but should do the job. They're fairly inexpensive online, so it will help with any puddles, water on trails, etc. I also added a bike rack, which is pretty cool, so I can do some cargo stuff, and then added a pretty cool cargo bag as well, so I can do some basic grocery runs, and then maybe in conjunction with a backpack use it. And this is a pretty cool bag because what I'm able to do is, in addition to use the center part, again, it's not huge, but it's sufficient to what I need. It has left and right compartments that kind of expand into basically making it like pannier type of bags or sides. So again, nothing overly crazy, nothing too heavy, but big enough to put extra stuff on the left side, on the right, and then gives us a little more capacity that I can use. So if I'm going to do a grocery run, for example, I have my backpack with me. I can put some things in the backpack, put some things in the central compartment here, and then on the left and on the right, more like flat type of items, right? You're not going to put any milk or anything like this. That would just be probably too heavy. But for basic type of things, works. I think it works and it does the job, and so far I like it. We'll see how long it lasts, and hopefully can carry some good cargo as well. Alrighty, folks. Well, it's been almost a month now. I'm at 262 miles. Everything's still going well, so I think I'm good with publishing this video and this review. I hope you have found it helpful and beneficial. We'll see how long this bike and battery lasts, hopefully a long time, and I'll do periodic updates as I can. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.